Let's talk about your website files and what's called FTP, or File Transfer Protocol. Now, if you're going to run a website, this is something that you need to become familiar with. It's not rocket science, but there is a small learning curve to it. And so what File Transfer Protocol does is allows you to offer files up from your server to the internet. When somebody goes to your home page, that's a set of files from your server that are being delivered to the person that's looking at your home page, and they're displayed in a way that is graphical so that the user looking at your home page sees how you've laid it out. They can click on things, access other parts of your website, and things like that. Now, the reason you need to know about FTP or how to work with your website files, because you will absolutely be uploading things to your server. One thing that comes to mind is images. Those are all housed on your server and then delivered to the end user looking at your website. So in this lesson, you're going to learn where those images go that you upload to WordPress, and also how to upload files to your servers yourself so that you can deliver them to your customer. And that might be useful if you're delivering digital goods or you want people to be able to download something on your site. Being able to do that means you need to be able to understand your file management system. So two things before we start. Your control panel, when you log in, has an area called File Manager. When you click on that and you click Go, when you log in here, what you'll see is some folders. They're called directories. But it's just like folders on your PC or Mac. It's just a way to house things in one area so that you know where to go to look for them. So you can access all your files this way, but what I recommend is actually going to some sort of free FTP solution. FileZilla is the one I use, and it's the one I'm going to show you how to use. It's very popular. It's a very good piece of software. So if you don't have a FTP solution that you already use, I would suggest FileZilla. So in order to get that, I just Googled FileZilla, click on it, and then you download the FileZilla client. Now, once you've done that, you'll get something that looks like this when you open up the software. In order to log in, you're going to need your host, username, password, and port. And if you signed up with the Green Geeks hosting account, like I suggested, in one of the introductory emails that they send out to you, all of this information is displayed there. So you can simply come in to FileZilla and copy and paste your host, username, password, and port, and then you hit Quick Connect, and then from there on out, you'll actually have your server listed here. This is my server through Green Geeks. So if I click on that, then essentially it'll come up and I've got all my files here. So that is really similar to what you can get in the control panel. However, it's laid out in a different way. It's a little easier to add and delete things and change names and do whatever you need to do. Okay, so where are my website files? Where do I want to upload things to allow people to download them? Well, what I do is I actually use the same folder or the same directory that WordPress uses by default. And so how you find that is you go over to your directories here. You find the one called public_HTML. Click on that. And I actually included my directory name for my very first website. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I called it WP. So you need to think back to when you set up your Green Geeks account. If you named this something else, then you just need to find that directory name here and double click it. And now what we've got are some folders up here, and this is some of the WordPress installation folders that were automatically put in here when you installed WordPress. So next you want to go to WP Content and then come down here to Uploads. Now all of the things that WordPress has uploaded, like your images that you uploaded using the WordPress dashboard, are going to be filed away in here. Now I've got a whole bunch of other things uploaded here, so you won't have nearly as many files in here as I do. But as you see, we've got folders here for 2011, 2012, and 2013. So let's look at 2012. Now I've got 1 through 12. Now what this is telling me is that in the year 2012, the month of January, February, March, and so on, I uploaded some number of files to WordPress, and let's say we'll check out March. And in here, I've got all of the things I uploaded in March. And we can look at April, check these out, and so forth. So all of that stuff is uploaded here and kept so that when somebody goes to your website, all of the images or other uploads that you put in here are displayed to them on the actual website. So I can either just click the back button on my mouse, or if If I want to go back, I can double click this very top folder here and it'll take me back. Now, what if you want to upload things to your website? Again, I would probably just go ahead and use this, uploads area here that everything goes to in the first place. You would simply just drag and drop that file in here. So I'm going to pull this down, and let's just say I want to pull in this Word document. It could be a folder, it could be a zip file, it could be anything you want. I'll just drag it and drop it in here, and now you saw that it uploaded real quick there because it was a small file. If it's a larger file, it'll take a little longer to upload. So now if we go back here, see if I can find that. Yeah, here we go. So that's the file that I just uploaded. So now the next part of this is saying, okay, well, I've got this uploaded. Now, how do I give my website users access to this material? Let's say that I want a download button or just a piece of text with a link that says download this or get this content now. What I need to do is create a URL that corresponds to exactly where this file is within my file management system. And it's not quite as hard as it seems. So the first thing you need to do is figure out, okay, what is my URL? Now let's take a look up here. This is the URL of the content minus a couple of key pieces. First off, you're always going to want to start right here in the beginning with your website domain name. So let's just pull a Word document in here and I'll start typing this. The domain name I'm using here is this. Okay, so we've got that part of it. Now let's take a look at the rest of this. So we've got public_HTML, WP content uploads. One thing I will let you know is that you do not need this public HTML part. If you put that in there, it's going to be the wrong file URL. So what you want to do is copy this from your beginning directory name all the way through to the WP content directory folder to the uploads folder, which is where we are right here. You just want to copy that and we'll paste it in here. Okay, so we've got most of it. Now what we need to do is just add the actual file name. So here's our file name. I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to copy it. And so we've got the path so far. We've got our URL. We've got our directory names where this document is housed. Now we need to add one more slash and then the file name, whether it's a zip file, a video, an image, anything you want them to download. Now we'll just paste that in there and make sure you have the file extension name at the end. Okay, so now that we've got our entire file name, all you need to do then is go to your WordPress website and figure out how you want to deliver this, whether it's a piece of text with a link or an image with a link or something like that. All you need to do is click the link button, paste this link in there, and then when you publish that page, when somebody clicks on that link, it will actually download that Word document that I just uploaded to the servers. Now this is especially useful if you're delivering digital content on your website. So if you're selling digital goods, this is how you're going to upload it and then allow users to download that material after they've made their purchase. Now lastly, I want to go back to FileZilla here, and I just want to kind of go back to the beginning. So this is where we were when we first logged in. What you don't want to do is go changing the names of these directory files, especially these that are part of the actual WordPress installation and your website installation. If you start changing the names of these directories, you're really going to mess everything up and you're very likely going to have to delete everything out and start all over. So I would highly suggest you don't do that.